Welcome to a special edition of Gospel Truth with Andrew Wommack. Today, Andrew's joined by Melissa Oden, Kristen Hawkins, and Janet Porter as they discuss the need to overturn the Roe v. Wade decision in the fight for life.
Man, we are seeing an end to abortion in the United States. The handwriting is on the wall.
It is.
And it's begun.
And now, here's Andrew.
Welcome to a very special edition of the Gospel Truth broadcast. All of this week I've been having programs about pro-life, about choose life, and I've been really blessed to have with me three ladies who are just heroes. They've been standing and fighting for the unborn. And so on Monday we interviewed Melissa Oden, a survivor of a saline abortion. And I tell you, that's just amazing. Then we had Kristen Hawkins, the president of Students for Life, and man, she's been fighting this battle a long time. And then we had Janet Porter with us. And Janet, man, she's just like a bulldog. You don't want her on your case. She just doesn't quit. And she helped start the heartbeat bills. And so we interviewed each one of them individually. And then yesterday we had a panel discussion. Today will be our last day to do that. All of the things that we've had on this week are in this little USB inside of here on Choose Life. But this also goes back and captures about 7 years worth of my week-long programs on anti-abortion, pro-life. And there's a lot of good things on there. We'll also send you this little booklet that is taken from Matthew chapter 28, verses 19 and 20 about observing all things. The Lord told us to observe all things that He had commanded us, not just salvation. And so that's one of the problems the church has been not the effect that it's supposed to, because they've just been teaching selected things about how to get born again, but they haven't taken a stand on these social issues. So anyway, that's what we've already covered. We will be advertising that at the end of the program, and I encourage you to get it. But ladies, welcome back. I want to thank everyone. I just love every one of you.
Thanks for having us
You
again.
are awesome. And these ladies are the ones, and there's others, of course, but I mean, these are some of the leaders that God has been using in this nation to do things. And man, we are seeing an end to abortion in the United States. The handwriting is on the wall.
It is.
And it's begun. So man, I'm just excited. Thank you for everything you've done. And so this last day, I think Kristen wanted to talk about how to get these sanctuary cities going. And you've got students that have been involved in this. So what are you doing?
Absolutely. There's a wonderful program called Sanctuary Cities for the Unborn. We did not launch it. A man by the name of Mark Lee Dixon started this program in Texas. It's spreading across the country. I was thinking about, for those listening who've been tuning in all week, you know, the inevitable question is, all right, you've got me. I have to speak up. I have to do something. I want to be part of this end of abortion in America. And I think, you know, the sanctuary cities idea is very simple. It's going to your city council. It's getting a citywide vote to say, no abortions are to be committed within our city district, our jurisdiction. We've seen some counties starting even. And so this is significant, as we were talking about on the last show, these abortion bans in Minnesota, where the abortion industry, they're preparing for a post-Roe America, just like how we've been preparing for a post-Roe America. But they're very devious in their preparations. It's abortion bans, chemical abortion pills via mail. And so we've got to be prepared. And these sanctuary cities are a great way that anyone can get involved. A pastor, just a local individual to say, I'm going to go to the city council and we're going to make this city abortion free. It's actually very simple to do, and it's being upheld in the courts. And some of these cities, it's happening, you know, the abortion facility can't even commit abortions. We have something at Students for Life called the Campaign for Abortion-Free Cities, where we're not just waiting for the courts. So Jan was talking about this last time, of not just waiting
do
the courts, what these 9 people in the Supreme Court do. What are you doing right now in your town to end abortion?
So
does your church know?
Let me ask you, the same way that you can declare a sanctuary city, can this be done for people declaring pro-abortion? For instance, I think that it was New Jersey and some of them passing these laws that even after a child is born, they can let them die. They were doing that anticipating Roe versus Wade.
That's right.
Is this going to be something that we're going to fight like city to city?
Yes.
But you can also dial it up. I mean, one person can address a city, but can also address your state that you live in. You know, people think, oh, it's this big army that I had, you know, marching behind me to get the heartbeat bill through. No. If I counted them, there were two people, me and another girl, Lori Vyers, from start to finish. Now, we had times when we packed out the State House. We had an overflow outside. We couldn't fit all the people inside the State House. There were times when, you know, we had more supporters, and the list was as tall as I was. I was lifting it over my head at the rally. But then there were times when I could count my friends on one hand. And I'm going to tell you, if you are committed to do whatever it takes, this tells you how. The book that I wrote, you can tell you how to pass a heartbeat bill in your state. Even if you live in a blue state, it's worth doing because just the publicity of this baby's beating heart will save lives.
Right here is a living testimony that it can be done.
If a purple state of Ohio can do it, and this is what I told them in Texas, then surely your state can.
Some people don't know, but you're the one that started the heartbeat bill. The first one was passed in Arkansas. You fought it in Ohio, but...
Yeah, God put the idea in my heart in 2010. In November, when my husband said, why don't you outlaw abortion while you're here? And then 2 weeks later, God put the idea in my heart, and they said it was impossible. And we had to fight against the establishment and fight against the right to life movement. But you want to know what? If you don't quit, then you will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. You will see the victory on the other side of it.
So these bills are basically taking away the federal restrictions on pro-life stuff, but it's not over. I mean, each individual community and state is going to have to wage this war.
Think about what happens if Roe's reversed, if the court comes back with the Dobbs decision and reverses Roe. Every state now will get to decide if abortion's legal, how many abortions are legal, what types of abortions are legal. We will have a 50-state battle.
So this isn't going to outlaw abortion. It's just going to outlaw the Supreme Court sanctioning abortion.
If the Supreme Court with the Dobbs decision reverses Roe, and then you have
But I got to
states.
interject something. We don't have to wait for the Dobbs decisions or the Supreme Court to do anything, because we have a place in America where children will live and not die. Yeah. They're going to declare the works of the Lord because they're going to live, and that's the state of Texas. That bill can be duplicated right now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wonder what will the court do, what will the people with the judge.
So if Roe was never overturned,
you have to do more than just pass a heartbeat bill. Because then you have to ask the question,
where
is she going to go?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing, we've knocked on like 80,000 doors since June in 20 cities. Denver, I know we're here in Colorado is one of them, where we're just knocking doors in neighborhoods surrounding the abortion facilities, saying, do you know this is what's happening at the abortion facility? Do you know these are the nonviolent alternatives? And you may have a nice little spreadsheet, a checklist of all the resources that the pregnancy center movement, the numerous resources provides versus the limited services that the woman will receive at Planned Parenthood. And it is shocking, Andrew, that over 80% of people we talk to, in some cities it's 100% of people we talk to, do not know resources actually exist. So in Texas, when they passed the heartbeat bill, they also funded the Alternatives to Abortion Act with $100 million. You hear this comment all the time, and I know you've heard it, Melissa, where it's like, well, you're going to outlaw abortion, but what are you going to do for all of these women and their unwanted babies? And in Texas, they did it. They outlawed abortion, and they funded $100 million for women in crisis pregnancies. And so I actually see it as we're preparing for post-Roe America, we're moving beyond Roe. What are we doing? We're passing laws in the states, and we're promoting the nonviolent resources that already exist. Mm-hmm. And so we don't have to, and to Jan's point, we don't have to wait, but we have to get the word out.
Well, in our bill, we added that to it, the adoption alternatives that are there. It's within the Ohio Heartbeat Bill, but it was back in 1989 where we passed the Woman's Right to Know law that provided legally anyone who goes into an abortion mill is provided not only with the fetal development, with the information about her child in the womb, but also about all the alternatives that they can turn to for free. If you want to know the difference about abortion mill, I was on a program one time and they said, you're talking about fake clinics. I said, here's a way to tell. If you're looking through the phone book and you want to know which is which, if you see any reference to Visa or MasterCard or if money changes hands, that's abortion. Our services are free. We're giving women a choice they and their children can live with. And that's provided in state law as well. And you can put it right in your heartbeat bill that if you don't have an informed consent law in your state, add it to the bill and make sure of it. So you can go door to door, and that's a fallback, but I'd rather stop the bleeding right now at the source.
I think it's
pass
both.
The bill.
You have to make abortion illegal and unthinkable. Mm-hmm. And in order to make it unthinkable in people's minds, we have to show them them that the pro-life movement has been ready and waiting for this influx of women. In fact, we're doing it every day. And
I
we're
wouldn't even
serving
say ready. We've been doing
hundreds
it
of
all along.
thousands. I mean, I want to do like a McDonald's counter of like how many women served. It's so hard because there's thousands of pregnancy centers and they're all independent. But we need like billboards with like a McDonald's counter to show another woman's been served, another family's been served.
I've heard that there was like 600 Planned Parenthood offices around the United States, but there's what, 1,600 or 2,600, something like that.
It's almost 3,000 pregnancy centers.
Close to 3,000 pregnancy centers across the country. And so the resources exist, but in order to change that mindset that so many people have of, I don't like abortion, but we've got, I have these conversations every day on campuses. We have to show them that the nonviolent alternatives exist. So while we're working to make abortion illegal, we're also changing the hearts and minds of our countrymen to make it unthinkable.
But the first step is to stop the killing. If we get a heartbeat bill introduced and we can add all these things on it, we can go door to door and keep doing these things on campuses, which I commend you for. But let's stop the bleeding. Let's get to the heart of this issue. Let's protect every child whose heartbeat can be heard, and it can be done because it has been done.
So let me ask for clarification. I should know this, but I'm sure there's other people that are asking the same question. So if Roe versus Wade is never overturned, does that you can go ahead and do what Texas has done with this bill and just basically bypass the whole thing.
That's right.
Is that what you're saying?
That's right. And we can, look, they may not stay open for a fraction of their business. We may see them close down. We know that the majority of their business in killing children is done in the state of Texas right now.
So whether it ever became illegal, you just put a criminal penalty to it and you stop it.
We don't have to wait, or a civil penalty like they did in Texas.
There's other Supreme Court decisions that they've actually never gone back and overturned themselves. For example, forcible sterilization on certain people, depending on their intellect or their disabilities. That those decisions were never actually overturned. We just as a society said, wait a minute, that's a human rights violation. Right. There's no way we can support that. And so you don't have to wait for these 9 people on the Supreme Court. That's the glory of what the Heartbeat Bill is doing, what we're doing with our abortion-free cities, where we're going into churches, we're going door to door, we're changing minds online. We don't have to wait a day, and you don't have to wait a day. If you feel convicted on this issue, there's something you can do today. You can go to your state capitol and demand a Heartbeat Bill get passed. You can go to your city council and demand that your city become an abortion-free city. You can join what we're doing and go to your churches and demand that your pastor, for once, speak out about abortion and start a post-abortive healing ministry in your church, which you would be shocked, Andrew, that the majority of our churches do not have pro-life ministries within them, and we do not talk about this. So there's something for everyone to do right now. You do not have to say, well, I have to wait to see what the Supreme Court
this
says.
is awesome. I'm loving it because you ladies deal with this all the time. You're more informed than I am, but I would think that most people thought that the Supreme Court gave a constitutional right to abortion, which I agree that was unconstitutional when they did it. It shouldn't have ever been done. But most people would think, I don't have the right to go to a city council or to go
You absolutely do. You will always have the right to do the right thing.
So whether the Supreme Court ever ruled against Roe versus Wade, you can go and just say, we have a constitutional right to make our city and our state a abortion-free facility.
Last time I checked, we still have freedom of speech. We can go out and we can proclaim the truth to all who will hear it.
Man, that is so exciting. That is awesome. That's awesome. But once abortion is banned in all of these places, you're going to deal with all of the people who this has been the way they have dealt with things. There's going to be hurt, and then the abortion providers and the people doing it. There's going to be a lot of cleanup from 50 years.
This is why
worth.
the churches need to speak. I mean, half of all women who get an abortion say that they've gone to church in the last month. Mm-hmm. This is an issue with the church. If the church would speak boldly out against abortion, we could end abortion. But the church also has to be ready to deal with the trauma of abortion after the abortion experience.
Well, and the good news is, the church doesn't have to be responsible for all of the healing work. They can be the impetus for it, have the conversations, but for abortion survivors and families who have experienced failed abortions, guess what, church? We're here for you at the Abortion Survivors Network. We're going to be here for the rest of time, healing people. If you're a former clinic worker or an abortionist, and then there were none, heals people. Support after abortion, surrendering the secret. I mean, we could name off, Rachel's Vineyard, Project Rachel.
Centurion Project.
So many.
you've got materials on your website for all that?
Absolutely. And people can find all of these organizations who are right now serving people who have been impacted by abortion. And that's going to be even more important when abortion has been outlawed. All of the people who felt like they couldn't share their story because the narrative in our culture says, hey, by the way, it didn't bother you, it didn't hurt you, it wasn't a child, all of those things. Suddenly people are going to be in a space where they can say, oh man, I've known the truth all along. And now I can actually reach out for help.
Yeah.
And I suspect that there's going to be the liberals that will just jump on this and start trashing the pro-life people that you don't care. And this will be a great opportunity for the church, Christians, to stand up and fill these gaps and help people that have unwanted pregnancies.
And there's so many organizations working. Like we have a website, student stuff, called standingwithyou.org, where you can go in, type in your zip code. It's got the resources on campus, in your community, for those suffering from abortion trauma, unexpected pregnancies, miscarriage pain. But there's not just Standing With You. There's all of these resources that are across the country who are getting
Plan for Her on the East Coast now.
Now, are these your organizations or just
only
ones
one of them was mine? I mean, and we are linking to the other organizations because we realize we can't do it all in the pro-life movement.
This is one thing I think that has hindered the pro-life movement, just like what Janet was saying, that when she was pushing the heartbeat bills, it was pro-life that fought against her. And we've been in these silos. We haven't been working together. Man, I just love having all of you together, and I know that you cooperate with others, but we need to unite and stand up, and man, we've got the advantage right now. We've got the momentum. We need to take it to them.
Right, and if someone is interested in passing a heartbeat bill, then what we're doing, we help the states. We connected Texas, for example, with our attorneys. We're on phone calls saying, how do we customize this for Texas? How do we fine tune it?
Now, you say your attorneys. Do you have attorneys on staff?
Well, they're volunteer attorneys that have been working full time sometimes. One is constitutional law professor David Forte. He was a lawyer to 2 popes. He was appointed by Reagan to the United Nations. He's a former judge. He's a rock star. And I knew I had to have him. I brought him in to testify for the first partial birth abortion in the country we passed. And I remember my boss at the time just going crazy. You don't even know who you got. This guy is just off the charts. He's just this rock star attorney. And I knew I had to have him to help draft the bill, right? And so I emailed him and I called him. And then finally, I went down to his office. I didn't get any response. I felt kind of badly because I was writing the letter how he needs to help us draft this heartbeat bill that no one's ever heard of. And I had more to say, so I wrote it. I took a flyer off a billboard or a bulletin board, and I wrote around the edges. And I stood under the door, and I had immediate regret. And I'm like, he's going to think I'm a crazy person writing around the edge of this flyer I took off. And I just prayed, God, just move his heart to help us. And he called me and he said, all right, you pro-life stalker, I'll help you. And so he helped draft it, and so did, I was told by 2 people. One of them was Matt Staver, who you know. Yeah. Another was Wendy Wright, former president of Concerned Women for America. They said Walter Weber of the ACLJ, the American Center for Law and Justice, is the best there is. And those are the 2 members I wanted on. We assembled a team of 25 attorneys from around the country, but the 2 leaders were David Forte, constitutional law professor, and Walter Weber. We drafted the bill, and then we've been drafting other heartbeat bills around the country, including the help with Texas, so that we could fine tune it. So if you are interested, just go to our website, email me. We'll help you get one fine tuned for your state. And when it goes through your legislative services and they give you back your bill, we can double check it, make sure there weren't some people in there that sabotage. That happens. We want to make sure we get the best bill we can going forward. And we're going to end abortion. That's what's happening, and it's already begun.
And so, have you got this information in your?
It's all there. Everything's in a heartbeat away. You can get it anywhere.
And they go F2A.
F2A.org. It's all the ideas we tried that didn't work, and the ones that did. It's every creative idea that God gave us, from the 3-story heart balloon to the cartoons that we ran on television, to the 4,000 heart balloons we launched this campaign with, to the 2,200 heart roses we had filling the State House, and that was the amount of babies the heartbeat bill would save every day. It's a school bus full a day, and so all of the ideas that you can take. Anything in this book, if you're pro-life, you take whatever's in this book and you use it and claim it as your own. If you're pro-abort, it's copyrighted. So there you go.
So for Janet, you go to F f2a.org. And Melissa, how do they get your materials?
Abortionsurvivors.org.
And what do you have available there?
We have all sorts of information for people about how abortion impacts a child after they survive physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. We give tips for parents and other family members, adoption professionals, other folks who come alongside people like me to know what to look out for as a child grows up. How do you best support an abortion survivor? How do you talk to them about their story as they grow up? We do not need to live in shame and in secrecy after a failed abortion. Families need to find healing. So there's lots of great resources on our website about that. But we're also very much about reaching out to those who have been impacted and humanizing children like me. If there's another way we can also continue to fight every single day, even no matter what happens with Dobbs, we still need to show the humanity of the preborn child in the womb. And abortion survivors are a living example of that.
Man, that's awesome. How about you, Kristen? What you got?
Well, folks can go to studentsforlife.org. You can see our 1,300 chapters, where we're active across the country, get the latest news in the movement. I would encourage folks active in their church to go to abortionfreecities.org, get a free church kit. It'll give you some tools, some helpful tips for dealing with pastors and getting your pastor and your ministry leaders to start talking about this, right there in church, which is where we know abortions are happening.
So if a person wanted to join Students for Life, do they need to be a student?
You don't have to be a student. We need students and chapters and to start new groups, but we also need supporters, prayer warriors. We have a very active prayer team. As you can imagine, we're going right where the abortion industry is targeting these young people. We're having conversations every single day. No other pro-life organization has more conversations every day about abortion than us. So we need a whole team of folks praying over us, our 80 staff members and our 1,300 Students for Life chapter leaders.
And I know that I helped support you putting Unplanned on
You
this.
did.
So what's
Absolutely.
happened there?
Yeah, we continue to show Unplanned, the story about Abby Johnson's conversion from Planned Parenthood director to pro-life advocate on college, high school campuses. We're trying to get churches to show it, which has been a little bit difficult because churches don't want to show a rated R movie. And so I'm like, no, this is a rated R movie your church should show.
Yeah, that's right.
If there's any rated R movie, it should be this one. And so we're still continuing to do that on campuses and talking about just the violent nature of abortion. I mean, this is something when you're dealing with these young kids, we can win them over just talking about the human nature and the dignity of every child and the violence that happens within that abortion facility every day.
It's the ultimate child abuse.
It is, absolutely.
It absolutely is. Well, we're getting close to being out of time again. Got just a little over a minute left. Thank you, ladies, for being with us, and I encourage all of our viewers to please support these organizations. Man, they've been fighting for a long time, and they're a big part of the reason that we're seeing this victory come. And each one of them have resources and things that would be a blessing to you. Let me remind you that we've got this little USB in here, and this has about 7 years or more of my programs, the anniversary of Roe versus Wade each year. And it's got all of that on there with interviews with each one of these ladies in more depth. Plus, we have all of the stuff that we've had this week. And so there's just a lot of resources. I've got this little book that not only deals with abortion, but it deals with homosexuality and evolution. I don't know how I put all those things together, but it's really good.
I want that booklet
right there.
It's really good. And so anyway, we've got all of this available. This is our last day to make these products available over our program. So please listen. Please go to their website. Please be a part of this. And praise God, the battle has just begun, but we are winning. Amen. God bless you. Listen to our announcer as he gives you this information.
In a landmark ruling, the Supreme Court today legalized abortions. The majority in cases from Texas and Georgia said that the decision to end a pregnancy during the first 3 months belongs to the woman and her doctor, not the government.
Before he formed me in my mother's womb, he knew me. Before I was born, he sanctified me. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. That monkeys are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Remember, it's my choice. It's God's choice. It's a baby choice. It's our choice, not yours. Choose life. Choose life. Choose life!
So cute, he's so tiny.
We hope you've enjoyed Andrew's interview with Melissa Oden, Kristen Hawkins, and Janet Porter.
Once again, I'd like to encourage you to get this product. This is a little USB in here that has multiple years worth of my teachings about Roe versus Wade during that anniversary week. I've got teachings against abortion, what the Bible has to say about it. You will get the recordings of all of the interviews that we did this week. I promise you it'll be a blessing. Plus you'll get this little book on observing all things. So listen to our announcer as he gives you the information, and please get these materials today.
This week's interview with Melissa Oden, Kristen Hawkins, Janet Porter, as well as their 2-day panel discussion is available on a special Choose Life USB. Also included on this flash drive, you'll find many more interviews and testimonies relating to abortion. This Choose Life USB flash drive will be accompanied by the Observing All Things booklet that contains many statistics and scriptures with regard to abortion and other social issues. You can get these valuable resources today for a gift of any amount. This entire series is also available for audio download, absolutely free from our website at awmi.net. You can also order resources or receive prayer by calling our helpline at 719-635-1111. Our helpline is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
You know, the Lord has given me a huge vision, and we've been blessed up to this point, but I've still got so much that God's leading me to do. I'm believing God for 10,000 new partners. We've already got over $120 million worth of buildings in just the last 9 years, but I've got at least $100 million worth, maybe $200 million worth of buildings still in my heart for our students, for an activity center. We've got a new student housing that we've got a preliminary drawing of that is showing you a little idea of what it would look like. This one would house about 120 people. Our others are going to be smaller with maybe somewhere around 40 people per dorm, but we need this student housing and we need people to become partners. I'm believing for 10,000 new partners. I would ask you to pray about it, and if the Lord says so, join with us and help us change people's lives through Charis Bible College.
Charis Bible College will help you discover who you are in Christ and lead you to a deeper understanding of your God-given calling and purpose.
There are some of you here wondering about, should I do this? If you have a desire to be here, it's because God put that desire in your heart.
To learn more about Charis Bible College, come to Campus Days. Meet Charis instructors and sit under the Word of God. Join us for Campus Days, April 6th through the 8th in Woodland Park, Colorado.
For 20 years, Andrew Wommack has been sharing the message of God's unconditional love and grace through his half-hour television program Monday through Friday. Now, Andrew is broadcasting a full hour-long teaching each week.
When God finds somebody who wants to be a giver and wants to bless somebody else, He will give seed to the sower. He will give seed to people who will sow it and give it to other people.
Watch the weekend edition of Gospel Truth with Andrew Wommack.